Magandang gabi po, Ginoong Pangulo. Ito po si Jade ng China Radio International Filipino Service. Chinese po ako pero marunong po akong mag-Filipino. Nagkalungkot po yung...
You come from a spy zone?
Yung kasi mayroon pong China Radio International, mayroon pong kaming yung sa Peking University, mayroon pong kaming yung Philippine Studies Program, nag-graduate.
Okay.
So, yung nagkalungkot po, yung nabanggit niyong balita hinggil sa yung Bagyong Lawin. Pero yung sa tingin ko po, maraming beses na may ganitong karanasan ang mga Pinoy. Yung sa naniniwala po akong matagumpayan po kayo yung ng kalamidad na ito. Mabuhay po ang Pilipinas po.
Thank you.
At yung tanong, yung kasi pwede po bang isang maikling
Yes.
Okay, yeah, English. Okay.
English, yeah.
So, opo. Yung you have initiated the and you are implementing the independent foreign policy. So in your how would you enhance the China-Philippines relationship based on this foreign policy?
Well, historically, we were never, let me be very... We've always been allied with the West. And in terms of entertainment, education, and all, it was all Western. As a matter of fact, I am more articulate in talk and in English than in my own dialect. Sometimes I have to group the words. There is one language which is Tagalog, which is being thought to be they say it's the national dialect. But we have not perfected anything. And that is why even in the movies and even the histories, those were the things that were not properly put in place in their proper perspective. And that is why even in the survey, the Filipinos would place their trust more with the Americans than the Chinese. But during the Cold War, China was portrayed as the bad guy. And all of these years, what we have read in our books, in school, were all propaganda produced by the West. And I cannot blame the Filipinos for being so indebted because everything indebted to the West because even the reasons for war was placed there as a war against the Philippines, against the enemies during the Second World War. We were hit hard. In the Battle of Manila, I think it was 200,000 people killed. The carpet-take bombings there were not really made by the Japanese. It was made by the Americans to retake the city. So there's no question that in the propaganda as we grew up, we only read the propaganda of the West, but there was Cold War at the time, and so we could hardly get any news from China and Russia. Those are the realities of life. And so our foreign policies, up to now, up to this point, we're geared towards to favor a sector in the world ideology and the contending ideologies of the world. Now that I am president, by the grace of God, I read a lot, I'm a lawyer, and I study geopolitics and all. And also I am a graduate of the Foreign Service. So I get to know how to balance this contending. At this age, I have now the proper perspective to judge whether the foreign policy is good for us or not. I said a few months ago, that I will charter a new course, changing direction of the foreign policy, and be with friends with everybody, and with no enemies to contend with, no enemies to hurt, no friends to serve. Unfortunately, this started with the war against drugs. And I'll give you the hard numbers. It's 4 million all in all. And they are scattered all over the country. There are about 6,000 policemen into it. Then municipal mayors and the barangay captains who take care of the basic government unit, the barangay chairman, then the municipal mayor, city mayors, governors, regional heads, then the national. What is really very alarming and is that my country has already been contaminated with narco-politics. And there is a senator in my country who was elected, and she was the poster girl of the Human Rights Commission. And the thing that, why this reason, why I am known to you guys, are interested to hear about me, is because while I was explaining the quandary of my country, and the sheer number, and the danger that would impose on the next generation. And it will be a failed state just like in Latin America and in Mexico. In that border there between Texas and Mexico, there are about 60,000 deaths. But I never heard of the State Department of Obama and the EU complain about it. They were focusing on me because that issue, which is really correct, was an issue against me when I was mayor. And they kept on hammering on me, criticizing me. But when I was president, that is something else. Because now I represent a country, and if you reprimand me in the international scene, all the networks here, your networks, and you show it to your own country, it will put to shame my countrymen. And you have something to answer. Oh, you come from this place, could you explain to us? But all the networks, they were only interested to highlight my statement when I said, internationally, publicly, if you destroy my country, I will kill you. And I was addressing myself to all the drug syndicates and the drug pushers and all. And I said, if you destroy the youth of the land, deprive us of the resources of tomorrow, I will kill you. And they kept on hammering that. He said, that president has been heard saying that he would kill people because they did not understand the statement, because they were dumb-headed. You know, China, America, Russia can perfectly say it, and it's very legitimate and valid. If you kill my country, there's the word, even if, it's conditional. I don't know what happened to these guys with their grammar. I mean, we are not that sophisticated and our English acquired culture. But they should go to if. So if you do not destroy my country, then I would not kill you. But they keep on hammering on the issues of killing alone. Because they like it and threatening me with going to the international criminal court. And I said that was enough. And I said no. Since nobody was listening to me, I gave them the word bullshit, all of you. Then they suddenly heard, oh, here's somebody bullshitting us. Who is this guy? Now they know that it's me. Now they are hearing. What's wrong in saying you kill all the criminals? The police, when I say, yeah, you're ordering the police, look, the soldiers of my country, they go to a 4-year course, the Philippine Military Academy. The police, there's another school, the Philippine National Police Academy. They study for 4 years before they become full-fledged law enforcement. They all know that when you say you kill them, it's either just like in the Old West. It is not our words. It is the words of the American cowboy in the movies. Billy the Kid, wanted, dead or alive. And if you do that in my country, it is not all right. But if they do it in their own country, the funniest thing is, it's even at the movies. Without the caveat, warning, this is just movies. They say, go for them, dead or alive. And when I say I'm going to protect my country because I am the president and I have every right, that is self-preservation. If that is not understood by EU and America, I'm sorry for them. It is really a very sad day. When even when you invented the language, you pass it on to some other people. You gave so many cliches about dead or alive. And when I do it, I said, capture him when dead or alive. The policemen and the military knew that there has to be some sort of a resistance. And that resistance must be violent. And therefore, if it is a violent resistance, that is the time that they can use force. If that resistance endangers the life of the police and the military, if they believe that they are already in the process of losing their lives, and that's the only time that they can kill. No need to repeat it. They have been there for 4 years, and that has been imbued in their minds. And that is the same theory for the FBIs and the police and everybody. But people judge best when they condemn. They always make you the worst of you. And to think that we learned this when I was small, there was this cowboy chasing a bad guy. Then you see posters in the movies, dead or alive, $500. We do not even do that. I always say to the police and the military who will be assigned in my city when I was mayor, give me a clean city. It's up to this guy to interpret what is cleaning the city.